Happy Monday to you. Welcome to my people. Sherry the Realtor, so good to see you this morning. Sascali, my friend. What's going on, brother? Good to see you this morning. On Instagram, so glad to see you. Jessica, glad to see you on LinkedIn this morning. Where my YouTube people at? All right. Glad you're here this morning. We're going to get started with the Monday Mindset Movement in just a moment. Yes, we're getting ready. Yeah. I see you, Cecily. Awesome. Yep. We're getting ready to get rocking and rolling. Ian S. Crawford, so glad you're here. Erica D. Applewhite, glad you're here. Min Street Official, glad you're here this morning for the Monday Mindset Movement. We're getting ready to rock and roll. We're getting ready to do this thing. Come on. Here we go. Getting ready to go. What's up, y'all? So glad that you're here this morning with me on the Monday Mindset Movement. What's happening? I'm your friend, your host for the day, Robert Kennedy III. RK3, that's me. We are here with the Monday Mindset Movement, 15 to 20 minutes of motivation, elevation, and inspiration designed to get you rocking and rolling through your week. So here's what we're talking about today. What are we talking about, Robert? Whether you think you can or you can't. You are right. One of the greatest factors in our success is this one thing, belief. But how do you train it? How do you get more of it? How do you get yourself set up so that life works out the way that you want it, right? We're going to talk about that today. So let's walk through that. And I think the question that I want to really ask you this morning is, how do you believe when the situation seems like it won't turn out the way that you want it exactly? So let's talk about that. The goal of our show, the Monday Mindset Movement Show, is to really help you think and come away with something that you can start your week on. We want to jumpstart you and launch you into this place. This morning, we're live on LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter X. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram right now. So welcome. So glad that y'all are here this morning with us this morning. All right, do me a favor. If you have not yet subscribed, or if you've not yet connected with us on the show, do me a favor. Go text the word live, not go live, just the word live, L-I-V-E, to 240-557-8679. Text live to 240-557-8679. Hey, guess what? We're going to get rocking and rolling right now with our show. We're going to talk about something. Do it.
It's time to get motivated, elevated, and accelerated. It's your time to jump out of your comfort zone and reach higher. It's time to get up and go. Grab your cup of grit and your daily dose of resilience. It's time for the Monday Mindset Movement with your host, Robert Kennedy III, RK3. It's time.
Hey y'all, what's happening? I'm so glad to be here. I swore I wasn't gonna do that. You know how people get on and they're like, hello, or what's up, or what's happening in threes. I said I wasn't gonna do that, but I did. Hey y'all, how you doing? Let's talk about this Super Bowl. Did y'all see the Super Bowl? Did y'all see the Super Bowl? Oh my gosh. I don't know if you are a 49ers fan or if you are a Chiefs fan. Whatever your fandom is, it was a great game. It was a really good Super Bowl. Sascali said I wouldn't miss it. Yeah. So let's talk about that for just a moment, because it really leans into our idea for today. It really leans into our idea for today. As I stated at the beginning, how do you believe when the situation seems like it won't go the way you want it? Exactly. And if I go back to my caption for the day, it says, whether you think you can or you can't. You're right. Y'all remember in kindergarten or first grade, they had that book, The Little Engine That Could, right? And what the big story inside of that was this engine going up this hill. Maybe it had the power, maybe it didn't. But what really pulled it up at the end was because the engine kept saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. But I really want to dive into that in our lives here. So let's talk about this Super Bowl for a little bit. So if you think about this game. So this game started out and it was 0-0 for a little while. And then it moved to this place where the 49ers began to take control and they got to 10-0. And this may be about a couple of minutes before the half. And at the end of the half, of the first half, the Chiefs came down and they scored a field goal. So it was 10-3. 10-3. Okay, so you go into halftime and you're up 10-3. As a 49er fan, you're feeling okay. You're feeling okay, right? As a 49er player, you might be feeling okay. Yep, we got this. We got a good chance at this, right? We're up by a score of 10-7. 10-3, I'm sorry, at this point. So they go into the locker room. They have halftime and they have Usher perform, which was a good halftime show, by the way. I don't know if you were an Usher fan. I don't know. You all have to tell me if you were not an Usher fan. Did you enjoy the halftime show? Go ahead and share that in the comments. Hey, Judy Schneidman, so glad to see you this morning on YouTube. If you were not an Usher fan prior to this, did you enjoy? Was it a good halftime show for you? Go ahead and share in the comments. Pauline Morrig, so glad that you're here. So Usher performs, and who are the other people? What was Jermaine Dupri wearing, by the way? Yeah, we'll talk about that in another episode. So they had Jermaine Dupri, Lil Jon was on there. Yeah, okay, we had Lil Jon on there. Who else was on there? We had quite a few different people come through. We had her. Oh my gosh, her guitar solo was insane. I love that. That was fantastic. What else? Who else was on there? Her was on there. Alicia Keys was on there. Yes, I won't say anything about Alicia Keys this morning. All right. It was a good halftime show. Okay, so the halftime show is done, and we come out of halftime, and the Chiefs score a field goal, 10-6, and then they score a touchdown a little bit later on, 13-10 at this point. Then the 49ers come down later and they score a touchdown, 16-13. They missed the extra point, so so they don't have a 4-point lead. Chiefs come down and they score a field goal, 16-16. 49ers score a field goal, 19-16. Chiefs come down at the end of the game and score a field goal, 19-19. So all this time, it's kind of back and forth. Nobody's pulling away. It's back and forth. As this is happening, what are you thinking? What are you feeling as a fan, as a player? What are you thinking? What's going through your brain at this point? Have you all ever been in a situation where you've got to achieve something or you want to win something, and then it's just back and you're not certain what is happening in your mind, right? Dr. E, hey, how you doing? All right, Tamika S. Graham, how you doing this morning? So glad that you're here. What is happening in your brain as you're thinking about this event, this time, and the uncertainty of it? Are you stronger in your belief? Are you certain in your belief, or does your belief wane? Does it go up and down? What's happening to you? Go ahead and share with me in the comments. What happens to you in your mind as an event takes place in your space and there is uncertainty in that space? Do you believe stronger, or do you kind of begin to waver and struggle a little bit? So as a fan, so I'll say this. I am, for those people who were in Detroit that wanted their team to win, I would have been with you because I'm a long-suffering Jets fan. Right? But my second team is the 49ers. So I back from Montana back in the day. So I was a little bit split. I really like Mahomes, and I wasn't certain which way I wanted this to go. right? But I think I was happy with either, but I was really pulling for the 49ers to pull it out. So, Tamika says I waver sometimes. So glad that you're sharing. Thank you for that. So this game goes, and then it gets to 19-19 at the end, which means they go to overtime. So they go to overtime, 49ers win the toss, and then they choose to receive the ball. And the overtime rules have changed a little bit. It's not sudden death anymore in that way. Each team has a chance to possess the ball. So 49ers get the ball, they go down, they score a field goal. They don't get a touchdown, they score a field goal. It's now 22-19. Okay, what do you do? What's in your heart? What do you believe is going to happen? As a fan, as a player, how are you feeling? How are you feeling right at this point? Okay, here's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, they're about to put the ball in the hands. They didn't score a touchdown, and they're about to put the ball in the hands of Patrick Mahomes, arguably the best player of this generation. That's what I'm thinking. So the ball comes down. Mahomes is doing his thing. They're making yardage, and they're just driving down the field, and they get to maybe about the 10 or 9 yard line, and they do a couple of it. I don't even remember. All I remember was this last touchdown. So they throw the ball into the end zone. Game's over. Maybe about 8 seconds left on the overtime clock. What are you thinking? Right? What is Patrick Mahomes thinking at this point? How is he feeling? Does he have in his mind that we're going to win? Does he believe that there's nothing going to stop us from winning in this game? What's going through his brain? What goes through your brain when you're in a situation where you're uncertain of what the outcome is going to be? How do you show up? What do you do? And here's what I really want us to get this morning. We act according to our belief. We often, most often, almost all the time, act according to our belief. I'll say that another way. The magnitude of your belief can determine the magnitude of your actions. So let's go back to the football game for just a moment. So if Patrick Mahomes doesn't believe his team can win, he shows up or he responds in a certain way. Right? He shows up or he responds in a certain way. In order for them to get the outcome that they want, he's got to act according to the magnitude of his belief. So the magnitude of your belief can determine the magnitude of our actions. And so I'll say that a third way. Small actions equal small belief. And maybe it's the flip side too. Small belief equals small actions. If I only believe a little bit, then my actions are going to be a little bit. If I believe large, then my actions are going to be large. So I want you to get inside your brain for just a moment and take a self-assessment of your actions. Are your actions small actions, or are they large actions? So when I say small, I don't necessarily mean that you just kind of do things small. I'm a believer in sometimes taking small incremental steps. But how many small incremental steps are you taking? How consistent are you at doing it? Are you doing that frequently? Okay, so are you taking one small action? Are you taking a comfortable action? Are you taking an action that, you just know you can do it? You don't. It's not a stretch goal. It's not anything. Or are your actions large enough to stretch the magnitude of your belief? Or let's flip that question around. Are your beliefs large enough to stretch the magnitude of your actions? What are you thinking this morning? What are you thinking this morning? Imasia Photography, good to see you on Instagram today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are on the Monday Mindset Show. Today, we're talking about belief, right? So small action, small belief. Do my actions reflect what I believe? Ask yourself that question. Do my actions reflect what I believe? I'll give you a hint. The answer is always yes. Somebody just got mad at me. The answer is always yes. Right? Because, again, I believe this. My actions are this. I believe this. My actions are this. So a lot of times when we talk about belief, people say, is it about the number, or is it about believing or not believing? I believe this or I don't believe this, right? I believe that belief is always present, and I don't think of it as I believe this and I don't believe this. I believe I'm going to win or I don't believe I'm going to win. I believe that it is you believe one more than the other, right? I believe I'm going to finish more than I believe that I'm not going to finish. I believe that I'm going to win more than I believe that I'm going to lose, right? So my question then for you is, and we're getting super philosophical this morning. If I believed that I was going to win, why did I lose? I love what you said, Saskali. The more you believe, the more you find out. So the question that I'm asking to some people, if I believed that I was going to win, why did I lose? And did I lose because of my lack of belief? And this is where some people get stuck. They're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to win. I thought I was going to win. I thought I was going to win. And then I lost. And then so they choose not to believe in the same way anymore. That's where a lot of us get stuck. We get stuck because something breaks. We get stuck because we think that it's going to happen and then it doesn't happen the way that we want. We think that something's going to happen and then we fail. And so we're kind of like, I'm not going to do that anymore. Right? If I believed I was going to win, why did I lose? Well, here's the thing. You don't control winning. You control believing that you will win and executing the actions required to win. That's what you control. I believe that I'm going to not only win, but I'm going to do everything that it takes. I'm going to go above and beyond. I believe that I'm going to be extra. I believe that I'm going to push beyond the limits that I currently face or see for myself in order to achieve the result that I want. Right? So your belief system, your belief, the magnitude of your belief decides or determines the magnitude of your actions. Hey, y'all, if you're getting value this morning, or if this is causing you to think or pumping you up in any way, do me a favor, share this with your friends. Go on and share out the Monday Mindset Show with your friends. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So in college, I decided that I wanted to start a musical group. This was after my sophomore year of college. I went home for the summer, and over the course of the summer, some different things started to happen. I started to write music. I started to write. I had always written poetry. My mom used to say that she would find all of these little papers around the house, napkins or whatever stuff. I just wrote down my thoughts, or I wrote down poetry, and I just, left them all over. But so she knew that I was into writing and poetry, and I started to turn this into music. So after my sophomore year in college, I decided I want to start this musical group, gospel music. And so the challenge was I had never led a group before, right? Introvert Robert had never led a group before. There was also another challenge. In order for us to really do what we wanted to do with this group, or to expand in the way that I was thinking about it, I needed a workstation, or I needed a space to be able to share or to craft and create the music that I had in my brain, or that I wanted to learn. And I didn't have a keyboard, right? I didn't have, when I say a keyboard, I'm talking about a synthesizer, a workstation, a digital, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Blah, blah, blah. Korg, Ensoniq, Yamaha, Roland, yep, all of that stuff, right? So I joined. I was thinking, okay, how do I make these things happen? Okay, how do I lead a group of people, and how do I get the equipment that I needed? And so I called up some friends. Got back to school. Just before I got back to school, I had emailed some people and called up some friends and said, hey, did they have email back then? Okay. All right. I called up some people and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this group. Will you join with me? So I then called the director for advancement for the school, went to his office, and told him about this group that I wanted to form, or that I was forming. And then I asked him a question. I didn't really know why I thought I should ask him this question, but I asked him. I said, hey, if we go out and recruit on behalf of the school, if we go out and perform on behalf of the school, will you buy us a keyboard? And he said, yep, I'll buy you the keyboard. Here's what I want you to hear from this. I had this idea, I had this thought in my brain, right? I wanted to form this group and I needed a keyboard. And in my brain, I just believed that it was going to work. I just believed that it was going to work. It did not occur to me in my mind that he was going to say no, or that he could say no. That was just what was in my brain. Right? And I want you to think about it in this way. When the successes that I've had in my life, most of the successes that I've had in my life came when I didn't consider that no was a possibility. The successes that I've had in life came when I believed, and the magnitude of my actions matched the level of my belief, right? And my belief was that this was going to happen, that this was possible, that wasn't even a consideration in this stuff. So as you think about your life, as you think about your week, as you think about how you operate this week, what is it that you want? What is the result that you want? What is the goal that you want to achieve? And as you think about those goals, is no a possibility? My belief system in the times that I've won has been that no is not a possibility. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not even considering it. I think about my engagement. I think about when I asked my wife to marry me. That was one of those times. I did not consider the possibility that she might say no. No was not a possibility in my brain at that point. Right? So your belief system, the magnitude of your belief system is going to match the magnitude of your actions. There's this book that I looked through a little bit. I've got to read it further, but it's a book called The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. And he says, the successful people in history have succeeded through their belief. Their hands were merely helpers for their brains. Ooh, yes. Right? The successful people in history have succeeded through their thinking and their belief. Their hands were merely helpers for their brains. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, yeah. So, how do you practice belief? How do you get better at believing? How do you set yourself up? Because I know it's easy for Robert to sit here and say, yep, you should believe. Yep, you should believe. Yep, you should become better at believing. How do you do this? How do you get yourself to a place where you simply believe and no is not a possibility or an option in your space? Well, it's easy to say, yep, just flip the switch on. But there's some practices that I want to share with you today. Okay, so number one, the first one is that your body language is crucial. I'm a communications professional. I'm a communications expert. I'm a communications person, teacher, trainer, facilitator, right? And body language is something that I talk about quite regularly. Your body language, and Tony Robbins talks about this a lot, your physiology determines your belief. Okay, if I come in and I'm just slumped, that physiology determines how I show up in my belief system. Amy Cuddy, if you look up the name Amy Cuddy, and she has this TED Talk where she talks about the Superman or the superhero pose, the power pose, right? If your body, your physiology, the way that you show up attaches to the belief system that you have, or it can even change your belief system. You show up as powerful, you stand tall, you walk in, and that changes how you show up in that space, how much space you take up in that space, right? So your body language is one of the most powerful ways of starting you down that road of updating or changing or aligning your belief system. Watch how you stand, watch how you sit, watch how you look at people, watch the eye contact that you give, watch how you speak, the energy with which you speak, the definition or the determination or the deliberation with which you speak also affects your belief system and how you show up. All right, so watch your body language. That's number one. Number two, do something powerful. Do something powerful. When I talk about doing something powerful, I'm not talking about necessarily running for president. I'm talking about doing something that challenges you. My parents took on this thing where we thought they were so weird. My parents took on this thing where they decided that they were going to update their immune system or upgrade their immune system. And what they did was they would run outside barefoot in the snow. This was when we were younger. Every morning they would get up and they would run outside barefoot in the snow, right? So that's something powerful. That's something that might be scary for a lot of people. That might be a shock to your system. How can you shock your system? How can you do something powerful? Can you go outside in the morning and even for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, decide that you're going to walk outside, whether it's raining, whether it's cold, whether it's freezing, can you do something powerful for yourself? Can you push through a hard workout? Can you keep a daily commitment? Man, we're talking this morning and we're way over the time that we normally do, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm hoping you're getting value. If you're getting value this morning, if you're getting something that is lifting you up for the week, just give me a thumbs up. Just say yes or type me in the comments. Okay? So do something powerful. I remember I had this system, or I had this group that I had started called 28 Days to a New Me. And when I started it, I had not ever done anything like that before. I hadn't done a challenge. I hadn't led a group of people through a process before. And what I was doing, I was making these videos every day to motivate the group. And this is back in the early 2010s. This is like 2012. And so I had my phone with me at the time, and every day to make this 60-second to 3-minute video, I didn't have a studio set up at the time, and so I kind of had to dip and dodge, and my kids were young. I was taking them to school and trying to grow a business at the time, and there was just all this stuff happening. My world was full, my day was full, and it was a challenge. There were some days where I said, oh my gosh, how am I going to find time to create this video? And sometimes I would pull over in the parking lot. My wife would send me to the supermarket for something, and I would pull over in the parking lot. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to shoot this video. And I just prop the phone up on the front of the car. People think I'm crazy. People looking at me because I'm waving my hands and flailing and trying to be energetic on this video. But the point was, I was fulfilling the commitment. I was sticking to a commitment, and it was not easy. There were days that my days were full and I didn't get to this video until 11 o'clock at night, but I was not going to go to sleep without filming this video for the community. Right? So that was my commitment. And so keeping a daily commitment, doing something that pulls you out of your comfort zone, is one of the ways to amplify your belief muscle. Third thing, We're learning some lessons today. Hey, Takesha Hanor, so good to see you this morning. Glad that you're on YouTube. And Twyla Grigsby, you are on LinkedIn. Good to see you this morning. Thank you so much. So let's go to number 3. Number 3, confront the beliefs that hold you back. Confront the beliefs that hold you back. A lot of us have belief systems that we've grown up with. People have told us things, and we believe those things for one reason or another. I'm not good at blah, 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 blah. That's a belief system that somebody told you you're not good at something, or you did it and they laughed at you, or you did it and you failed and they told you you weren't good enough. And so you took that on and you put that coat on and you put that mantle on, you put that thing on and you wear it, and your mind says, I'm not good at this thing. You got to confront that thing because it's not the truth. It's not the truth. There's some things, yes, there's some people that are better at certain things than you. There's some people that are super talented at certain things, right? There's some people that I will not ever choose to be an NBA player. I will not choose to go through the rigor that it takes because I'm not passionate about basketball in that way. But I'm not ever going to say I'm not good at basketball. Compared to who? Compared to what? Yeah, I'm good at basketball compared to 5-year-olds. I'm good at basketball compared to people who don't know how to play basketball. I'm good at basketball compared to quite a few other people. I'm good at it. I'm choosing not to go to this level with it because that's not what I'm passionate about. Confront the beliefs that hold you back. When you say to yourself, I'm not good at, or I'm never this, or I never did this, or I'm not blank enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not good looking enough. Those are beliefs that hold us back. Those are beliefs that affect the magnitude of our action. So if we want a different result, can I change the belief? Can I change the action? What do you believe that holds you back? If you've not gotten to a certain place, if you want a certain result, what is the thing that you're doing? What is the thing that you believe that has held you back from that? And then number 4, the last thing is revisit the evidence that you're a winner. Revisit the evidence that you're a winner. How many times have we done things? How many times have we won things? How many times have we reached a certain level? How many times have we accomplished something and then we just never talk about it again, or we skip it because we don't think it's big enough? Revisit the evidence that you're a winner. You've accomplished something. You've passed the test. You've passed your road test. You passed your school test. You've passed your nursing school. You've passed your psychology test. You've passed your real estate test. Right? You've accomplished something, and it's important to revisit those things because those things are data. Those things are evidence that you're a winner. Those things are evidence that you can do it. And when you revisit those things, you realize and remember that, hey, you're not nothing. You are not somebody who's a failure. You're not somebody who is a nothing and has never been able to do anything. You have accomplished, you have achieved, you have won in your life. So revisit the evidence that you're a winner. And that's another way to improve your belief systems. Listen, it's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 8:33. And I really hope that this morning you've been able to hear something that changes how you will approach this week. The magnitude of your belief affects the magnitude of your actions. Am I acting big? Am I believing big? Am I thinking big? Or am I in my comfort zone? Am I in my place of smallness? Am I in my place of regularity? Am I in my place of just fitting in with what everybody else is doing and all the other things that are just average and regular in my life? Are you thinking big? Are you believing big? This morning, what is it that you want? Go into this week knowing that you are destined for greater, that you are powerful, that there's something inside of you that is a winner, something inside of you that has already won. And I want you to revisit that thing so that you know that you have possibility, you have potential. You can do it. You can do it. Believe you can do it this week. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, y'all. It's Monday and we want to shift your mindset to a place of growth. Let's not just start and stop on Monday, but let's take that idea to tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Come on. Let's do this thing together. Hey, join me this Wednesday at 1:30 for Story to Sales on LinkedIn Audio. This week, we're talking about, what are we talking about this week? I don't remember. Just come on. Wednesday at 1:30. No, this Wednesday we're at 12 p.m. on LinkedIn Audio, but we want to make sure that you get what you need for this week. So, hey, y'all, I'll see you soon. Be curious, make a choice, move, start a movement, be a movement. Join me next week, Monday, for the Monday Mindset Movement. Until then, be amazing, my friends.